Okay, guys, what's up? Today is day 65, I believe, of the 100 Days of LeetCode. We got a medium problem, number 6, zigzag conversion. Let's get right to it. So the string PayPal is hiring is written in a zigzag pattern on a given number of rows like this. You may want to display this pattern in a, okay. But basically, we go down, PayPal is hiring, okay, so we zigzag through it, and it doesn't actually say this here, but the number of rows here is 3, right? So we go down 3, and then we zigzag up to the right until we get back to the first row. We go down to the third row, zigzag up to the right, down, zigzag, down. And we want to write the code that will take a string and make this conversion given any number of rows, right? So it might not be 3 rows, it might be 5 rows, might be whatever. So here is example 1, which is the one we went over. That's how it looks. And what we want to do is you want to basically add the rows to each other. So it'd be pan, apple, sig, yer. Pan, apple, sig, yer. That's how we want to return it, right? That's 3 rows. Now, if we have 4 rows, we go down 4, up to the right 4, down 4, up to the right, down. And so it becomes pin, al, sig, yar, pi. Pin, al, sig, yar, pi, right? That's how we return it. Okay. And then the third one, of course, we have 1 row and we just output, the same string. So how do we want to do this? Well, what we want to do is we essentially want to keep several strings that we're adding to throughout the solution, okay? And we want to keep whatever our number of rows argument is, we want to keep that many strings. So in this case, we would keep 3 strings. In this case, we would keep 4. And it'll make more sense once I show you the solution, so let's get to that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a guard statement and say if the number of rows is equal to 1, or number of rows is greater than or equal to the length of our input string s, we're simply going to return our input string s. And the reason why is because if there's only 1 row, well, then it's all going to be on 1 row, right? So we just return the string. If there's more rows than the actual length of the string, then it's all going to be sort of in a vertical line because we don't get to the part where we're zigging. And once we take that vertical line and just add them to each other, like append the strings, put them together, we can just return the first string anyway. So that's why we put that guard statement in. Now, what we want to do is we want to create a list with a bunch of empty strings. And we're gonna do this. There's gonna be num rows amount of empty strings. And now we want to create 2 variables, index and step. And index is going to be 0, step is going to be 1 to start off. And what the index is going to keep track of, it's going to keep track of the index of this list that we're going to be modifying at any particular point in the loop that I'm about to write. What the step is it's going to be controlling whether we go up or down an index after we append to the string at the previous index. And it'll make a little bit more sense once I write the code. So we can say for x in s, get every single character of the string. We are going to do the list at index plus or equal to, so we're going to append to the string that's at that index of the list, x, our character, right? Now, if at some point in our iteration we're back at the 0th index, well, our step's going to be 1 because we're going to then go to the first index, right? So the first row, then the second, then the third. And that's actually depending on something else that I'm going to write in a second. But let's do this first. So if index is equal to 0, step is going to be equal to 1, right? Now, if we get to the point where index is number of rows minus 1, which means we're at our bottom row, now we have to reverse our order and zigzag back, right? So now we're going to be adding we're going to be subtracting 1 to our index value because, of course, we want to zag back up to the top. And so that, like, so let's say, for example, here, this y is getting put to the string at index number 2 of our list. But now that we're here, we want to start adding again to the string at index number 1 of our list. So we need to switch our step to negative. And after we determine whether our step is positive or negative, we're going to add the step to our index for the next time. And then that's our loop. And now what we're going to do is we're going to return an empty string, and we're just going to join the all the items of the list separated by an empty string. And that is our code. List index out of range. Let me see here. The list index. Last executed index is 3. Why is that? LF index equals number of rows minus 1. Oh, of course. Because we're not doing plus equal to 1, we're doing plus equal to the step. So that makes sense. There we go. So that's how we solve that problem. That's it. That's day 65. If you guys enjoyed that one, please like, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow for day 66. Take care.